Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called They Cloned Tyrone. If you haven't watched the movie, I suggest you watch the movie right after you see this. And if you have watched the movie, watch it again with a different set of eyes after you reviewed this information I'm about to share with you today. They talked in this movie about a government agency going into the black community and disrupting. Now, even if you're not in the African American community, it should trouble you that a U.S. agency or a U.S. group, secret organization, would be doing this to a community. I've said many times on this show that the tactics and the techniques that they are doing can be used as a case study on what these groups or agencies have been doing around the globe. We don't have to go that far. They're doing it against other groups in America, and other groups or agencies in America. This is the black community is their training ground for these things. A lot of the techniques and tactics that they're using, they picked up during Nazi Germany. Now, I just said a mouthful there, but the name you see behind me, MK Ultra. I'm gonna have to ask you to do your research. Go onto Wikipedia and just glance at some of the things that that group, MK Ultra, has been doing to the black community. The movie They Cloned Tyrone is basically what they've been doing to the African American community for decades. For decades. They have gotten so comfortable in doing this that they don't even mind telling you right in your face on what they're doing. The reason why a movie like They Cloned Tyrone will come out now is because the information is coming out on what these groups, MK Ultra, Artichoke. Let me be more specific. This is a CIA operation. MK Ultra is a CIA government operation. This particular group has been linked to drugging American citizens, brainwashing them to commit suicide, to harm themselves, as well as others, and then forget about that they ever did it. They're doing this, doing this by using drugs. How are they doing it? They're coming into the community and they're picking out certain members or certain people and brainwashing them to do everything that I just said. Cause disruption, cause dissent. They'll use people that look just like you to do this. In the movie, they showed how they infiltrated the church, how they infiltrated the school, how they infiltrated the house, how the home, the husband, the wife, the family structure. They show how they infiltrated to the street dealer, how everyone was being controlled or manipulated by a secret government organization. Now, in the movie, it was alluded to that it was a government agency, but the name was never disclosed. Now, I'm going to expose it for you. This particular group goes by many different names. In the past, it went by the name of Artichoke, Operation Artichoke. Then it changed its name to MK Ultra. Present day, it's just going by the name of CIA. They're not even hiding it anymore because they have demonized this group, the African American community, so much that they have other communities, they don't even care anymore because the propaganda machine that they have used against this community, the community that's in They Cloned Tyrone, they have demonized that group so much that other groups and communities They don't even care. They say, oh, they deserve it. Oh, let them destroy themselves. But I need you to be very mindful on what you wish on other communities. Because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you, I'm going to enlighten you on what this government has been doing to this particular community. Because after they get finished trying to mop up this community, they'll be coming after your community. Because they don't care about race, creed, or color. Only thing they care about is control. Now let me explain. Some of the things that they touched on in that movie was the hair products that African American women use on a daily basis. Those same hair products in the movie They Clone Tyrone were causing an effect, a euphoric effect on the person who was putting it on their hair. Now, they're playing around with the euphoric effect. It makes the woman feel good when their hair is relaxed out using these chemicals. But the thing that they don't tell you is that these chemicals are used to slowly kill you. These chemicals are used to slowly kill you. Not just you, a lot of pregnant women use these same chemicals in their hair when they're pregnant. And let me explain something to you. Right here you have an article right behind. A 25-year-long study of Black women links frequent use of lye-based hair relaxers to a higher risk of breast cancer. In the movie They Clone Tyrone, government officials were pushing it onto the Black community. And I've said many times before, this group, MK Ultra, they will do it right in front of your face. To all you street gangsters out there, how gangster is that? They trying to kill your mother, your grandmother, your baby mama, your wife, your daughter. Pushing this stuff on you. They care nothing about you. This is the same group that makes sure you have a gun in your hand to attack someone who looks just like you. Remember, in the movie They Clone Tyrone, they were going after each other. They were killing the person who looks just like them. And it was all orchestrated by a government agency, MK Ultra, present day CIA. They're doing this. Another thing that they brought up in the movie, it was how they were putting chemicals in the food, in particular, the chicken. We all know that Black people have a special connection to fried food. We just can't get enough of it. Why is that? You've been programmed like that. They've pushed it on you. They have a fried food or a fried chicken spot on just about every corner of the Black community. Why is that? And why is that not pushed into other communities? Because they won't allow it. Because they know how destructive it is. Now, let me explain something to you. The fried food that you're consuming, in the movie, it was causing the same effect that it was causing the women who were putting those relaxers in their hair. It was giving them a euphoric feeling. It was being pushed on them. In the movie, they were showing you how they were pushing the fried food to you through the commercials. When they got hungry, there was a commercial right there. Hey, come down the street and get some fried food. Now, people, just as how damaging this study is, let me repeat that. 25-year-long study of Black women links frequent use of lye-based hair relaxers to a higher risk of breast cancer. It gets deeper. Vegetable oil. Doesn't matter the brand, vegetable oil is just as destructive as those hair products that you're putting in your hair. They're doing this, they're pushing it onto the Black community. Now you may ask, why are they doing it? Look, we can get into all the reasons. You can get into racism, you can get into control. The reasons could be numerous, but just know that they're doing it. I can get into all the reasons why, trying to try to figure out the mindset of an evil person and why they would do this, or why a government will allow another agency to do this to a community. There have been talks on banning vegetable oil. Is that destructive to the human body, not the African American community? Now, if you're not in the African American community, if you're not black, and you see the mess that this community is in, a lot of it has to do with the diet. If you eat like the group that's portrayed in this movie, your community will be affected the exact same way, because you start pumping your body up with these types of chemicals. All this up here. It affects the brain. It affects how you interact with reality. Now, I've done many shows on what these things do to the body, on the chemical makeup. In the movie, the people, these government agencies, the agents, they were wearing lab coats. They were scientists whipping up cocktails for African Americans to eat. And then they would go out and push it to you through commercial, through social media. They will push it on you. Pure vegetable oil is destructive to the body. The alternative, and I'm not going to tell you what not to eat without suggesting something that you should eat, is organic virgin coconut oil, cold pressed. You can cook with this. You can rub it on your body after you shower. You can even brush your teeth with it if you add some baking soda with it. It's very healthy. You can, like I said, you can eat it right out the bottle. You can eat this right out the bottle. You can cook with it. You can brush your teeth with it. You can lotion your body with it. It won't kill you. It'll actually benefit your health. Try to drink this right out the bottle. Try to brush your teeth with it. Rub this on your body. It will have the opposite effect. I said before, there have been talks on banning this stuff. This is a byproduct of the industrial community. This here, vegetable oil. They were greasing up metal parts with this stuff. They had so much of it, they decided to put it in a bottle and start saying, hey, you can fry your food in it. They do this through propaganda. MK Ultra is all connected. They showed that in the movie. These agencies, these agents in the movie, they were wearing lab coats. These are scientists and physicists. It gets deeper. Which one am I showing? Let's go to the milk. Just about everyone who's viewing this probably has a gallon or two of milk in their house. You go to school, you send your child to school. First thing they want to do is push milk onto the child. It's advertised to you. It leads to healthy bones and teeth, good for calcium. What's the first thing you associate milk with? A lot of people in the Black community, they associate cereal with it. On a box of cereal, it says, you can pick any box. It said fortified with essential minerals and vitamins. It says that on the box. So if you want to say, you know what, let me eat right. Let me look on the side of the box, make sure I'm getting my, my magnesium, my iron, my copper. All those things are on the side of the box. And you're going to think, hey, I'm getting a healthy meal here. This is cereal. But the moment you add milk to it, it stops the absorption of those vitamins and minerals. Who would know that other than a scientist or a physicist? They push this on the American public, in particular the African American community. But it's not limited to them. I told you, you can look at what they're doing to the African American community and look at what they're doing to your community. Because they're blatantly doing it in the African American community. They're making movies about it. So when someone like me comes around and say, hey, look at the movie, you say, oh no, that's just some stuff he got from the movie. It's a way to get you to dismiss everything that I'm saying. But no, I've been saying this way before the movie. I got videos out. I was talking about this close to a decade ago on what these things were doing to the human body. What they're doing to American citizens in this country is criminal. Criminal. Also, let me explain something. Also, along with that, you have salt. Probably one of the most dangerous things up here. Now, with all that, you'll have individuals out here putting lye-based products in their hair, which can cause cancer. Then going home, cooking their food in vegetable oil, destroying yourself from the inside in. Using milk, which is stopping the absorption of minerals and vitamins in the body. And remember, milk and cereal is advertised to children. So if you're sitting your child down to eat a nice healthy bowl of cereal, saying, hey, I'm going to give him some healthy milk to go along with this. No. You would be better off putting water in that bowl of cereal and feeding it into your child rather than giving him this. Because the moment he puts this milk on the cereal, it stops the absorption of those vitamins and minerals. That's the science behind the milk and cereal that they don't tell you. But like I said before, these groups and organizations, MK Ultra, CIA, Artichoke, whatever you want to call it, they know this stuff already. These are scientists. They attack on all fronts. They're connected to the science community, the medical community, social media, whatever you want. This is the government. This is an agency inside the government, in particular the CIA. Now, another one is sugar that they push on the community. How many dollar stores are in your community that has nothing but sugar on the shelf? Nothing but sugar. Let me explain something to you. The body only needs 1 pack of sugar in the body at any given time. That's all it needs. 1 pack at any given time to be in a healthy state. You got a liter of Coke that has about this amount of sugar in it. How many of you are drinking sodas? Soda pop. Killing yourself. These things are causing diabetes, kidney disease. Think about all the things that come along with high blood pressure and diabetes, the effects that it does to the kidneys, not just to the body as a whole, through the sugar, how it's pushed into your community. Let me ask you something. If you go to the grocery store and you eliminate everything with sugar in it, close to 90% of the store will disappear. Think about how much sugar is in ketchup, is in mustard. Bread. When you consume bread, it turns into sugar. The body doesn't know the difference. When you eat pasta, it turns into sugar. Translation, diabetes. You need to cut it out. Like I said before, I'm not going to tell you what not to eat and not tell you a healthy alternative. Instead of sugar, go to organic honey. Instead of bread, and remember, I understand. You're talking muffins, birthday cakes. Bread is a tough one to get away from. Pastas. You got rice, any of that stuff. You just stay away. But let's just focus on the bread. I came across a bread, and I'm going to share with you. It's a bread called injera, they use a particular type of grain. It's the smallest grain in the grain world. Extremely healthy for you. It has the opposite effect of this. This right here will raise your blood sugar. It can lead to diabetes. But that injera bread has the opposite effect of this. It's the most healthiest bread you can eat. If you don't know where to get it from, go to your nearest Ethiopian international market or Ethiopian restaurant, and they can help you out with that. The bread is called injera. These are some of the things you're going to have to do to counteract some of the damage that these groups are doing, because they're just throwing it right in front of your face. These movies like They Clone Tyrone is basically a soundtrack on what they've been doing. A video demonstration on how they have been destroying the Black community. You're gonna have to use your imagination when you're watching this movie and put that together with everything that I've shown you here today. This is an attack. And even if you're not in the Black community, if you're eating the way that the Black people in that movie were eating, your community will turn into the same thing, because you are what you eat. The people in that movie, there is a group behind this who says, look, we know how to control people. We know how to implement control tactics in different communities. The training ground is the African American community. Like I said before, once they finish mopping up the Black community, they're going to implement everything that they have done into your community. Now, if you're white, if you're Latin, if you're Asian, if you're Arabic, it doesn't matter. Well, for what I just told you today, this can be applied to anyone. If you're a human being, you don't drink this. You most definitely don't put this on some cereal and feed it to your children, because like I just said, the moment you put this on cereal, it stops the absorption of vitamins and minerals. Without vitamins and minerals, you're depleting your body of it, which you're slowly killing yourself. And I've said many times before on this show, without certain types of vitamins and minerals, you can't even interact into your environment, into this reality correctly, because it affects how you think. A lot of times people come into the African American community and they say, hey man, what is going on here? They're being attacked from the inside in by what they're consuming. It's their nutrition. And they know this. These organizations, they know this. Now, I've done shows where they have been implementing this on a global scale. On a global scale, you have other countries, other continents banning certain foods from out the country. Now, in one, you can look at ketchup. Now, I talked about it before. It's very destructive. It's nothing but sugar. Not just that. The ketchup that you get on your out of your American stores, out of your American grocery stores, if you go, let's just say Canada, and you look at the ingredients on that, the ingredients on that ketchup, it'll be the same company, but the ingredients are different because Canada banned that form of ketchup. But it's legally, because they banned it because it's too destructive to give to their citizens. But that same bottle of ketchup has different chemicals. The destructive ones that are banned in other countries, it's perfectly legal to sell here in the US. Why is that? Why would any government allow this to happen to its community, to its citizens? A lot of time is ignorance. They don't know what's going on. But then you see these groups, MK Ultra, Artichoke, scientists and physicists, implementing this into the communities. These things, ketchup, everyone uses it. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, or Latin. It's destructive. They don't care about that. Remember, it's a way of controlling. They control you through your diet, because it leads to the pharmaceutical company. Because after years of eating this destructive diet, you go to them for the cure for the mess that they created. You're feeding the cycle over and over. They get you from the cradle to the grave. From the cradle to the grave. This is what they're doing. The movie they called Tyrone, that wasn't a movie. That was a documentary on what they've been doing to the black community. And I'll leave it at that.